I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me, 'cause I'm sailing on a boat. Never thought I'd see the day with a big boat coming my way. Poseidon, look at me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright guys, we're back with another Path of Exile video here. Today we're going to be looking at Settlers of Kalguur, aka Boat League. Path of Exile's upcoming patch 3.25. Really excited about it. It looks fantastic. Wanted to talk a little bit about how Path of Exile just perfectly trolled Blizzard, GGG Games. Path of Exile trolled Blizzard and Diablo 4 so hard. It's one thing that they do a fantastic job at. Ever since, the game came into fruition, they've been writing Diablo 3, Diablo 4, Blizzard, and really just coming out on top basically every single time. I just think it's hilarious because Blizzard announced, well over a month ago that July 18th was when they were going to be announcing their Spiritborn class, which they spent almost 2 hours on just announcing this class like it was a big deal. That's really the only notable thing coming in their expansion. And then here we've got a Path of Exile League that is just, light years ahead of anything that they have, and just hilarious that they would just wait for Blizzard to drop that and then come out and just take a massive crap on them. So I'm sure that probably POE 2 is going to do the same thing when Diablo 4 next expansion comes out. Probably right when the D4 expansion comes out, POE 2 is going to come out, at the same time or right after. It seems like they like to let Diablo make their move, and then they come out right afterwards to basically pick up all the scraps of the upset people from Diablo. It's what happened and really drove Path of Exile to success when Diablo 3 failed after about a month of launching. So we've got awesome changes. New league mechanic. Basically, we get to manage a town, hire workers, defend the town from invaders, defend from pirates. Just some awesome mechanics, farming things in the world, and then taking those materials, building up your town, trading those materials for basically currency, in-game items. Just looks awesome, fighting bosses, etc. And not only on top of that, we have basically the biggest melee rework that I've ever seen. Huge changes coming to the skill gems, basically like 70% more damage on all the melee skills. They've taken out melee totems, which I think is phenomenal because, if I'm playing a melee build, I don't want to be worrying about dropping totems and letting totems do the work for me. I want to be in the fray doing the work myself with my character. So that's just fantastic. Some big changes to a lot of Ascendancy classes. Huge buffs for the most part to some of the less played Ascendancies, and then some of the, more flavor of the month Ascendancy classes like the Champion and the Juggernaut actually got some pretty significant nerfs. Like nerfed almost to the point where I think GGG was like, hey, we don't want you playing these classes this league. We want you trying out the new changes, either the new Ascendancies that they've added or the reworks that they've done. They basically crapped on Juggernaut and Champion so hard that I don't really think anybody is going to play them unless there's like a very niche build that they need that Ascendancy for. Like basically Champion, they changed the way one of its notables works so that instead of gaining a bunch of personal buffs, the only thing it really does is gives your allies fortification at the same level as your character. So unless you're wanting to play like a paladin build in a party, I don't think anybody's going to be playing champion. And then Juggernaut got nerfed, uh, not quite as hard, but still significantly to where you are probably losing some survivability, and that's kind of the main point or staying, playing reason of that class is taking, you're the Juggernaut, you're unstoppable, and you're going to tank all the damage. Now it's, you're not getting chaos resistance from your endurance charges. You are now getting reduced elemental damage, and instead of your armor applying to elemental hits, percentage of it, you can have it apply to chaos damage, like 8% of your armor. So I think overall that's, a little bit of a rebalancing, but I think overall it's probably a nerf because chaos resistance, getting all that free chaos resistance was huge. And 8% from your armor reducing the hits isn't going to help you at all if your armor is lower and your chaos resist is lower because the hits are going to be too big for it to really do anything. But so I think overall a nerf. They've also reworked items so that items are going to be better, like using whetstones and armor scraps now gives you a more multiplier. So huge, boost to melee characters there as well. They've added in new tiers of armor, so we will be able to get higher tiers of armor, so just higher defensive values. Because of that, they've nerfed determination and grace. And I think the, is it, I forget the name, the one that gives you the energy shield aura, but they've nerfed those because you're going to be getting higher values from your armor, which, I think people are looking at that wrong because the nerf to those auras, like you're getting a boost to your defensives for free from just there being higher tiers of base armor and energy shield and evasion on the gear itself. So the only reason people were running those auras was because you had to basically run them to get that survivability. So you had to, invest into that, reserve your aura or your mana to run those auras. Now we will probably be able to reach higher defensive values without the auras and have that mana to reserve into something else. So I'm this league. I'm gonna be doing some kind of melee build for sure. I mean, I play melee like 99% of the time, anyways. But now this is like melee boat league, so it's definitely the league to get your melee on. There's some new changes to the retaliation skills, which look really interesting to me as well. So I may try and do like some sort of retaliation setup, but I may also just do like a slamma jamma build because slamma jamma is like, one-shotting everything on the screen and just doing huge AoE massive hits is like what it's all about. So it's probably going to come down to something, one or the other unless I find a way to like combine the two. But yeah, I mean, super excited about this league. It comes out in basically a week or less from today, and going to be playing it day one. I'll probably, once they've got an updated like passive tree uploaded, and we've got like the updated ascendancies to where we can kind of tinker around with it. I'll be, theory crafting some builds, looking at the new skill gem changes, and deciding what exactly I want to play or try and play, and like what I will level up with. So super excited. Big changes to the Endgame. A lot, just a lot of like tweaks and improvements. So that's, I think, going to be more something that we will just experience as we play through it. It's not going to be, game changing. I think it's just going to be more convenient, easier to progress through, less frustrating in some instances. So super excited, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And remember to give them the D.